So we make sure that we capture this event, and if you can, I would prefer if you turn your cameras on. It's sometimes easier to speak to people than to the black squares. And of course that for the students in the class, having the cameras on is a requirement. Okay, so I hope that is fine, and that you get used to that. Okay, so let's see. Let's start by asking if we're going to start and finish by asking if there are any questions, okay, from you. So if you want, you can ask. Okay, you can ask
I
any
can't
questions you
hear.
have. There we go. You can ask in the chat, or you can raise your virtual hand there in Zoom. You may have a button that says reactions, and one of the reactions is to raise your hand or something like that. Okay, and so we can start that way. And so Leslie Ann,
Hello.
excellent. You raise your hand. That is great.
We're figuring this out. I don't have a question right now, but we're excited to be able to join in tonight. We are driving to a youth temple trip. So I'm going to turn my camera off this time, but we normally will join in with camera. But today we're going to have to go off so we can be safe. We don't have to stare at the ceiling of my car.
Yeah, drive safely, okay? That is the
Thank
main
you.
thing. Whenever I see any of the students or the mothers, in the car during the class, I'm always like, are you driving or is someone else driving? Okay. But really, that is one of the advantages that we have here of having, online classes, is that you can actually do this from many, many different places. All right. And so as long as we have the internet connection, you are fine. All right. Even if for some reason you miss the class, all the classes are always recorded, and then they are posted right after for you to be able to access the recording and participate that way in the class. All right. So I'm very, very happy to see all of you here. Let's see just as a kind of as a break, kind of who is the farthest now joining us in this meeting. All right, so if you can put in the chat, where are you joining from? Let's see if we can determine who is the farthest from my location. I'm in Utah, okay, American Fork, Utah. So let's see, we have Danielle also in Utah, Bent in Washington. Yeah, the Larsons. We have North Carolina. That is probably the farthest so far. All right. Sarah says in Arizona. Okay, until the time changes. All right. And they want to hear about the self-paced option. Excellent. So we will hear about that also. New Jersey, the Hills, and Houston, Texas. Okay, so I think what would be farthest, North Carolina or New Jersey? Okay. What is I don't know, North Carolina is further south, but the coast kind of comes in, but probably is North Carolina the farthest from here. Excellent. Well, so let's get started on seeing a little bit about this geometry course. I want to show to you how the geometry course is structured. What are the things that you are going to expect here from the geometry course? And then also I'll show you some of the work that some of the other students have done in this past year, all right, during the course. So first of all, let me come over here to the website. Okay. And so in the website, You may already be familiar with it. Some of you may not be completely familiar, but there are several places that are important for you to know. Okay. So the home page basically has the main, a feed of things that are happening right now. There are sometimes students that put, or parents that put questions, and I try to answer to everything as fast as possible. If you have questions that are of a general nature, for that are, basically for several people may be interested in those questions, I would probably recommend that you put them here in this open post and questions link. All right. So that would be a good space for those questions. One place that I really encourage you to check is this info and links page. All right. That has kind of the most important information. Here is where we have the schedule of classes, the weekly schedule, the yearly schedule indicating when classes are going to start, and so on, the tuition information, a video about how to register for the courses, very, very, very important piece of information. Okay. And then I also have in here the recordings for all the previous meetings and webinars. So here, if you have a question or want to watch some of these webinars, they are, I think, very informative and very interesting. Especially, I would probably recommend for the parents, all right, if you want to look at this webinar on the brief history of education in America. This was actually, I think, an interesting webinar. Okay, of course, I'm kind of biased because I did the webinar. So, all right. But I think that is actually very, very important. We also had a webinar on AI and the future of education that you may find also enlightening. And I just did last week, I think that it was last week or the week before, another webinar on the joy of science, of studying science. Okay. And this was more like an autobiographical webinar, but I think that is also an important resource. So you have these resources available to you here in the info and links page. If you want to register for courses, you come here to the courses 2324 page. And here you will see all the courses that we have available, all right, with their monthly price, okay? And also you can pay either the monthly fee or the yearly fee, all right? We have 16 different courses. This is incredible, really, how fast we are growing. Okay. So I'm very excited to offer all of these courses and the different teachers that we are having. Under the self-paced courses, we now have the motherhood and the moral influence of women. I'm working with a team of editors to help me put together the videos from last year's classes for geometry, biology, and physics to be also self-paced courses. So those will be coming probably, hopefully, in the next couple of weeks. Okay. So we are trying to give the last touches for those. So those are also coming up. So if you cannot make it to some of those courses because of the time, one of the options is to do the self-paced course. Okay. And the self-paced courses are the same content. Okay, the same assignments. The students are also expected to turn in the assignments and so on. The only difference is that instead of attending the live class every week, when the students complete 4 weeks worth of work on the course, then they schedule a meeting with me. Okay, they schedule a time to meet with me, and then we can do a one-on-one meeting together. Okay, so this is basically what you will see when you log in, and if you click on geometry before you subscribe, you are going to be able to either subscribe for the annual fee or the monthly. The annual fee offers you a little bit of a discount, okay, and is $560 instead of $600. And also for those who register with the annual fee, you are able to get a receipt with the course name, the description of the course, and everything. And so you can turn that in for reimbursement with My Tech High or some of the other programs that do that. Okay. One of the things that you can do when you get to here to these courses is to read the description of the course. Okay. And also you can preview a little bit of the course yourself. All right. So you can go to the course overview and preview the course overview. Okay. And here I have a link to a video explaining a little bit about what the course is going to be, what are the main topics that we will be covering. I have here some very interesting reviews from previous students that have taken the course, okay? They give their opinion about the course and how they like it, what were some of the things that they like the most, and so on. I also put here a quote from, Abraham Lincoln, okay, about his experience with Euclid. He was actually a study of Euclid, and he said that it helped him develop the reasoning skills necessary to be a good lawyer. All right. So that is kind of what we have in the overview page of the course. And then you can also do an overview of the week 1 material for the course. So you have here, each week is going to have kind of an introduction with some of the objectives of what you will learn, and then the link to the individual lessons for that week. So in my courses, usually I have links to videos or articles and things that you need to read and do. In this case, I have here a video that talks about Euclid and reasoning, then another one about why we learn the elements of geometry with Euclid. And I have here a video that explains how you should read Wikipedia articles. I think that this is an important skill because many times, students don't know exactly how to read these articles. So I explain there what are the things that you need to do to be successful at reading these articles. Here in week 1, I also explain what are the books and resources, the tools that are necessary for this course. And I have here the links to 2 of the different editions of the textbook that we are going to be using. This one is the elements of Euclid. Okay, I actually would encourage you to do the hardcover. All right, the paperback is, I guess, a little bit flimsier. It's just $10 more, really, and I would really prefer that you get, if you need to get one, get the hardcover version of this. This version of the elements is a very beautiful edition. It's very well put together. This one here, Oliver Brine's Elements of Euclid, is not the complete elements. So this one has all 13 books of the elements of Euclid. This one has the first 6, okay? The main advantage of this version is that instead of doing a lot of the text, it has the text of the propositions, but it actually has everything in color, okay? So it's a very easy way of reading this book, okay? So if you are kind of more of the visually inclined and so on, this version of Euclid may be better suited for you, but you can use either one. In the course, we are going to actually cover the first 4 books of Euclid. We are not covering all 13. Usually that would take probably about 3 years of a study, but we are going to cover the first 4 books. And the first 4 books basically are the ones that cover the topics that I have here outlined, all the theory of triangles, the Pythagorean theorem, geometric algebra, the squaring of rectilinear figures, all the theory of circles, segments, and angles. And then we finish with inscribing and circumscribing polygons. Okay, so that is kind of the whole, all the topics that we have in this year. All right. Under the books and resources, something that I'm going to ask you to buy is a bound notebook. Okay. Those of you who have been students of mine before, you know that I don't like loose pages. Okay. So I want you to get a bound notebook where you are going to take your notes and then take pictures of those notes and turn them in. For the class also, you need to get a ruler, okay, a straight edge or something like that, and a compass. And I recommend this type of compass. And don't buy this compass. You can buy at the hardware store. All right, so you go to Lowe's or Home Depot, the hardware store, and you ask for a carpenter's compass or an ascribing compass. And this compass is a lot better than anything that you can get at any bookstore because they are made of metal, they are very strong and sturdy, and they actually work. Any other compass that you buy is probably just going to give you headaches. So, okay. Sounds good? We are going to also be using a protractor. Sometimes, okay, not too much. It's handy to measuring angles, but we will do that once in a while. And then I have here some other resources. One, this site, GeoGebra, is this site here that it's free to use. So you can come and create your own account. And we are going to teach you how to use GeoGebra to create a lot of the constructions. So as we progress and become more involved in different constructions, this set of tools is going to be very, very valuable for you, okay? Because you are going to learn how to use this, and this is a very useful tool for this course, okay? So you can create a free account on that. We are also going to use another version of the elements of Euclid, this online version that Dr. Joyce wrote, okay? Dr. Joyce, I understand, since now has passed away, that has left us this very nice version of the elements of Euclid online. And we are also going to use this version, this online version that someone actually from Turkey developed. And it's interesting because the developer of this website, okay, he has done actually a very, very good job. The fun thing about this development is that he highlights everything that is going on. So we are actually going to read one of the propositions today together and learn about this, looking at this version of the website. And it's interesting because the author of this website, all of a sudden last year, he noticed that we were starting to use his website quite a bit, and he actually became a member of our network. I have chatted with him and everything, and thank him for his work. Okay, so that is what is going on with the different resources that we will be using. Any questions about this so far? Are we okay? Everyone all right? Okay, I see some thumbs up there. So, all right. And
I do
for
have a
those,
question.
yes, go ahead. Uh-huh.
I put it in the chat, but I don't think you saw it. Are you going to have a place where the list of supplies we need will be listed along with a link to that book?
Yes, so that is in here in this lesson, the book and
Okay.
resources and tools. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
here you have
Okay.
all the links. Okay, all the
Okay.
links are there. All right, and this is actually in week 1. So even before you,
Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah, so even before you register for the course, you can access that by going here to the preview. All right, so you click here on preview and you can see the lesson and all the links here for this. All right. So you have it all there. In fact, most of the courses have the preview already open, and the first week of the course also ready for you to see. So for example, here the entrepreneurship course, you can see all the description, and also you can do a preview of the course overview and the first week. Okay, so you can see all of that even before you register for the course. Okay. Mm-hmm. And most of the times during this first week is where we put what are the resources that you are going to be needing for the course, so you can look at that, consider and see anything that is needed. All right, excellent. Mm-hmm. All right. So, this is a good question. Jacqueline is asking about the age of this course. All right. So, do you think a 10-year-old that just finished Algebra 1 could take the course? This is the thing. And my answer to this question about age is I think that is kind of the correct answer. Okay. Age is not the most important factor. Okay. The most important factor about whether a student is ready to take this course or not is on the student's desire to learn. Okay. If they want to learn and do this course, nothing is going to stop them. Okay. As far as actual prerequisites, if you need, what would be the different prerequisites? So I need for this geometry course someone that actually knows how to read well. Okay. So in most of the course is reading the elements of Euclid and understanding and interpreting the course. As far as the math background, if the student has a good, elementary school background on math, that is probably more than sufficient. All right. They don't have to have algebra already done or anything like that, because the elements of Euclid actually starts from the very, very beginning. Is the first thing. In fact, for over 2,000 years, everyone that studied mathematics started by reading the elements of geometry. This book is, I always say, this is the most successful textbook ever written in the history of this world, really. So it is really a great blessing and opportunity for us to study this together. Let me see here. I think so. Last year, I had a 9-year-old student, all right, that he took the geometry course. I had an interview with him before because I was a little concerned that he may be a little younger, but he really was committed to do it, and he was actually very successful in completing the course and learning a lot. Okay, so he's now going to be taking the Algebra 1 course with me this next year. So let me okay, so Stacy is asking, is there a price difference for the self-paced study versus the live class? Yes, the price difference is about half. Okay, so the self-paced courses, I'm going to have the students registering for 1 semester at a time. So the tuition for 1 semester of a self-paced course is going to be $150. So for the full year, 2 semesters is going to be $300. The live class is $560, or about $55, $60 a month, depending on how many when you registered. Okay, but that amounts to about $600 total. All right. The courses are exactly the same. The only difference again is the amount of time, whether the students attend the live class or not, or whether with the self-paced students, they are able to schedule the one-on-one meeting with me. Okay. Micah, guys, how are you doing? You are making me dizzy with your camera moves. So I have these guys in biology this past year, and they are fantastic. So, but now I see 3 of you. Okay.
Yep. I'm here too.
I'm sorry. We'll stop this.
So yeah, this is my brother Troy. I think he's joining, and I think another one of my brothers is also joining.
All right. Excellent. Good. I'm very glad to have you join. Yes. So let's see. The next question is, are both books you mentioned required, or does every study choose one of the 2 books? Yes, just one. Just one of the 2 books, depending on, again, which version you prefer, which edition you prefer. There are even some online editions, okay, there, but I really, really would encourage you to buy one, because this is a treasure, a priceless book, really. So it is a great thing to have, okay? Olivia is asking, can you take the algebra and geometry class at the same time? I guess that you could, all right? My only concern, Olivia, there would be as far as the workload, all right? So I would probably recommend that the students don't take the 2 math courses at the same time, just because of the workload, and in order to have more variety in their school year schedule. Okay, so I would probably recommend that. Marianne asks, if a student chooses the self-paced option, do they still have access to mentoring from you? So in the self-paced classes, the students receive feedback for the assignments they turn in, all right, and then they meet with me in a one-on-one meeting for about 15-20 minutes 4 times during the semester. So when they complete 4 weeks worth of coursework, okay, it may be 4 weeks, or it may be faster, or it may be longer time, depending on how fast the students complete the 4 weeks, okay. But Bent, Marianne, you know how fun and useful those one-on-one meetings are. Okay, so it is really a very still good opportunity. And during those meetings, we do coaching and we discuss the students' progress, any questions they have, and so on. So that is kind of how it goes. Okay. So let's see, where is the option to purchase the self-paced semester? I do not see that option. The option is not yet available, so that is why you don't see it. So let me share the screen again. It will be here under self-paced courses, okay? And the reason why it's not yet there is because we are editing the videos. So I'm pushing the editing team as fast as possible to make this happen. So that is why the self-paced semester is not yet there. Okay. So, but it will be shortly. I keep telling my editors, come on guys, I need the videos. All right, I need everything ready. So that is kind of what is happening. Let me show you, as far as assignments and homework, what is expected from the students. So let's share the screen again here, and let me open the chat and the participants panel. Okay, so we have that all going. All right, so let's go back to the course and see that every course is going to have, at the end of the week, there's a lesson called, week 1 notes and questions. Okay, so in this lesson, I basically give the students the opportunity to share with me what they have learned and the notes that they have taken. So as they watch the videos, as they read and mark the propositions and everything, then they are expected, the students are expected to take notes in their bound notebook, okay? And I want handwritten notes, all right? And then what they do is they take a picture of those notes, 1 picture per page, and then put them together into one document and submit that document for me. So this is, for example, some examples of the notes of some students from this previous year. So you have here, one student taking the notes, okay, and then taking the pictures, and you put all the pictures into one PDF document, and then voila, you submit that, okay? In fact, you can do all of this from the phone. There's one app called Tiny Scan or Adobe Scan. It's a free app that you can take pictures, and then the pictures are added onto a PDF file. You save the PDF file, and then you can submit directly from your phone into the Well-Educated Heart website your assignment, okay? So that is kind of how it goes. So you see here some examples of the notes that the students turn in. So when we start studying the propositions, I ask the students to do the construction using their compass and ruler and so on, and then taking notes of the proof of what they are learning and studying in each one of the propositions, okay? So this is the example of those notes. This is another example, okay, of a challenge, how to construct an isosceles triangle, and the students are able to do that. All right. Any questions so far about this? So this is basically how it goes. Let me show you the course in this past year. Okay, so it has all this one. I need to probably log in as I won't be able to show you that at this time, but I need to log in with my other login. But that is basically what it is. So every week, the students are completing their assignments. I give them assignments. Sometimes the assignments are going to do constructions here in GeoGebra, and then the students also turn in the link of those constructions with me. So, they can build a construction and then they share the construction with me by sharing the link to that. All right. And I'll show you how all of that is going to be done. Okay. So let's see if we have another question here from the One Last family. If they do the live class, do they have one-on-one meetings with you also, or just group instruction? With the live class, what we do is we have 1 hour of the live class, and then we are going to have what I call the second hour. Okay, so right after the live class, we finish the class, we stop the recording, but we keep the Zoom meeting on for 1 more hour. Okay, and during this second hour, the students can go to a breakout room, or they can stay on the main room. They can start studying the lesson for the following week. Or if they have a question, they can go to a breakout room with me in order to have any questions or issues resolved and so on. Okay, so they actually have a lot of opportunities of having one-on-one that way. All right. Most of the times, this next year, because my classes are going to be from 8 to 9 in the morning, right after class, I'm going to leave the Zoom meeting open, but I will need to go to work, to my other job. Okay, and so I'm going to have one of the students being the host for the Zoom meeting for a little while, and then I'll rejoin them when I get to my work. Okay, but still we are able to have a one-on-one mentoring that way, and so on. Okay, so some of my students that were students of mine in this past year, if you would like to comment about how did that work for you, what was the value that you saw on having that opportunity to be, in that second hour. Okay. Sometimes it was very quiet, okay, to tell you the truth. Sometimes it was, just students studying and so on, not much happening. Okay. But so that was a good thing. Marcy, okay. What was your experience with that this past year?
It was great. I thought it was helpful to just maintain momentum. And then, if we had questions, it was just easy to be able to ask them in the moment. What do you think, Luke? You did it.
What was you were there also in the physics class. Okay. How was that second hour for you? Quiet.
I suppose it was pretty useful because normally I don't find time for myself to do work. So it's good to have time already set apart to do that.
Excellent. Yes. And that is kind of the main purpose. So the students during that time, they finish the class and then they can start working on the following week right away. And if they have any questions or anything, we are here to answer. Okay. Some of the students went into breakout rooms and study, okay, or socialize more than anything, but that is fine too, So that is one of the advantages of the live class. So, okay. All right, let's see. So that is the idea. Let's see. Also, the Hill family. Thank you, Marcy and Luke. You are asking in the chat. Will you have any hands-on application options similar to how the biology class does? I'm glad that you asked that. Okay, so this geometry class, originally I called it reasoning through classical mathematics. Okay, the problem was that everyone was thinking, so what is the class about, and this and that. And so I actually had to acquiesce and call it geometry 1. All right, but the class really is more about learning how to reason, how to think things through clearly. And so during the class, throughout the year, we have several lessons and assignments where the students study the definitions of different very important concepts, like the definition of truth, the definition of the gospel of Jesus Christ. We are going to learn about how to distinguish between things, dichotomy and trichotomy, and lots of different concepts that are of very practical application. Okay, in these times where the woke ideology has gained a lot of momentum in our culture here in the Western world, and postmodernism, the relativism, and so on, I think that the things that we are learning in this class are extremely important and very, very critical. Okay, so in this class, you are going to really learn how to think clearly, how to reason through arguments clearly. And several of my students that have taken the class, they have told me that after this class, they are able to understand algebra, math, physics, all sorts of different subjects a lot more clearly, because now they know how reasoning through arguments works. Okay, so that is the most hands-on application that we have in this class. Thank you, Marcy, for asking that question. Appreciate it. Jacqueline is asking, so if I have 2 kids doing the same class, do we need to pay for each individually since they will be turning in work, correct? Yes, that is actually correct. Okay, so let me see if I find it. Today I kind of answer that question in one of the posts. Okay, or was it on a chat? I need to probably log out and log back in my other account. So let me have a second to do that. Okay. All right. Coming up, and let me share the screen with you, because I actually think that is kind of a fair question to ask, and an important one. Okay. So let me see if I under let me see, not this one. Hold on a second, let me see if I can find it. Let me see, I don't know. Hold on. So this is part of the problem of here. We have so many questions and places where people ask questions. Okay, and so I think that it was in the chat for the event today. Yes. Okay, let's see if it was in here. Okay. All right, so this is the same question here. Okay, I found it. So, so it says, would two kids be able to tune in the course for a single price, or is the price intended for one student only? Okay, and this is my answer. The price is intended for each student. One student is officially registered for the course. One student is able to submit the assignments, and one student will receive feedback on their homework. Okay, and that one student will complete the course. So that is really how things are intended. All right. However, if a sibling or siblings are tuning in on the course, studying, learning, even appropriately participating in class, asking and answering questions, I'm okay with that. Okay. In fact, I hope that the older registered students are able to coach the younger ones. Okay. So that is kind of how it goes. I am not going to police anyone, and saying, "Well, you are not registered here." You are listening and you are not registered. No, I'm not. I don't do that. Okay, so everyone is really kind of welcome to learn. All right. However, of course, that as far as turning in assignments, only the registered student is turning in the assignments, and they are receiving feedback that way. Okay. Does that make sense? All right. So that is kind of how at least that goes in my classes. Okay. So I want that to be clear. All right. We do intend, okay, I haven't had the time yet to do the certificates of completion for the year, for this past year, but for the students that complete the courses, they are going to also get a certificate of completion or a certificate of participation in the course. This is not a credited course, it's not for credit, but it's a way to, at least I certify that they have completed the course. Okay. And so that is another advantage and reason for registering each student for the course. All right. All right. So do you have, that is all that I have as far as the material and the presentation for this geometry course. The course is very, very important for building a great foundation on how to develop the thinking skills that you need for everything else. Not just for math, not just for geometry, but this is actually going to really help you understand and improve your learning, your reading comprehension in every aspect, really. Okay, so that is why I think that this course is extremely important to take. Okay, all right. I talk too much so today, but thank you so much for joining. And now, let me stop the recording here. Okay.